In this video, I'm going to be running you through a recruitment ad campaign, and shout out Roy from the ads group that we have running at the moment, who said his biggest challenge with social media ads was recruiting talent. So one thing I want to do is answer your questions and challenges directly and help you guys as much as possible. Quick overview of the steps we're going to cover in this video. Step one, Canva, how to create some quick, easy to run ads creatively. Step two, Ads Manager. I'm going to run through and just build a campaign with you, really simple step by step. Step three, Typeform, show you what kind of questions we're working with, how to pre-qualify the applicants you get from the form and the ads that you're running. Step four, email confirmation, and then a couple of notes at the end. So look, dive into step one. What can your ads look like? How do you get ads that look like this? You want to open up Canva and you want to go in, create a design, Instagram post square. And as you can see here, if you type in hiring on the design templates, it will pull up tons of different design templates that you can use. I love Canva personally. It's an amazingly quick tool to get good quality stuff out straight off the bat. Let's say we're going to go with this one. Open positions are on here, so you can edit that. Email us your CV. Very rarely will anyone email the CV after seeing an ad, guys. So really, we want to drive people through this funnel of getting them into Typeform and then obviously putting them onto a list for us to sieve through and see who the best candidates are. Coming back to the board, once we've edited our designs, color, branding's on point, we want to then open up Ads Manager and look at building the actual campaign itself. So if we go into Ads Manager and we go to create a new campaign, leads, continue, manual leads campaign, just so we've got some control. And you want to call this your top of funnel recruitment position. So you want to enter your position or the positions you're hiring, and then you want to date the campaign as well. Categories, so we're doing employment ads, which means that we'll lose a bit of control in terms of how narrow we can target. Select the country you're doing this in. Scrolling down, auctions fine, leads are fine, and then we want to put advantage campaign budget, and we want to set our budget. Now, guys, set parameters on how long you actually want to run these campaigns for. Is it a week, 2 weeks, a month? And then set a budget based on what you feel you can afford to spend on ads to recruit this position. Now, look, in contrast, the way that I'm showing you how to do this, you can cut out recruiter fees, which are in the thousands for most positions. You can cut out advertising on job boards and just go direct to individuals who have the skills and interests for the roles that you're looking for. Now, of course, really senior positions, guys, this isn't what I would recommend. This is more so for your team leader, management roles, or executive team roles that are reporting to those team leaders. Set your budget. £35 a day is £1,000 a month over 28 days. Not doing any budget scheduling in here, and we're going to go into the ad set level. So on the ad set level, let's look at location and type of audience. So you can see it right here, target location and type of audience. We want to set it as a website campaign because we'll be sending people to Typeform using the Typeform link. And we want maximum number of conversions. Grab a pixel, put a complete registration or whatever the optimization that you have set up with where you're sending them. If you send them Typeform, you can insert your pixel and choose the correct optimization goal. We've got it actually set up to lead. So you want to make sure that's selected so you can track back in Ads Manager how many applicants you're getting. Dynamic creative, you want to turn that on because you want to add multiple images, multiple headlines, and multiple primary texts. Start date, immediate. End date, we don't want to set an end date. We'll be monitoring it and turning it off ourselves. We're not selecting any custom audiences, although the middle of funnel could be a good one for me. And location-wise, the question you want to ask here, is it a remote role or is it a in-house office-based role? If it is an in-house office-based role, you want to look at a location and a radius. So if we go with London as our location, and then we want to set a radius up to 50 miles, depending on what you think is a reasonable commute for your team. A good way to gauge this, guys, is simply looking at who's working with you already, if you have staff already, who's traveling the furthest, and then figuring out, based on that mile radius, what the most relevant time to travel to the office actually is. I'm sure you don't want to hire somebody who's going to need to travel 3 hours for an in-house role. It won't last very long from my experience. Age, because we're doing employment, we have to keep it wide and we can't differentiate men or women. And placements, right now we've got Advantage Plus placements selected. And if we hit edit right here, we can look at, so as you can see, Advantage Plus placements are selected, which means it's going to spread it across all placements. But for this campaign, we actually just want Instagram as our placement where we're advertising. That's obviously because we're a marketing agency. People often will have better. And for this campaign, we actually just want Instagram because we want applicants to look at our page that we're advertising from, the business page, to get a good idea of who we are and what we do before applying for the role. And as you can see, Instagram stories, Instagram reels are selected, explore, profile feed, and Instagram feed are all selected. And that can take us to the next level now, which is the ad creative level. So you want to do a descriptive name for what the ad creative actually is. You want to look at your placements. So Aaron Branch, the Facebook page is irrelevant because we're only running on Instagram. And then the business page, that's selected. I'm going to go down to add creative. All the default settings are fine. Select images. So we can just grab these 3 images and hit continue. That's dragged those images in. So it will serve variations of these with the headlines and the primary text that we put in. In the primary text, guys, you just want to keep it simple. You want to keep it quite simple for the end user. So looking for your next role. We're currently hiring. And then you could put something like position 1, position 2, position 3. Apply, hit apply now to join the team or something similar. So a little call to action on the end. And we're going to place the apply now button onto this advert as well. There we go. Now, whenever you put text in, it should give you some generative AI. Be very mindful, make sure it's accurate when you're using these and selecting these using that button. Make sure that you edit them and make them as relevant as possible. Headline, are you ready for your next challenge? That could be one. I'm just throwing these out, guys. These aren't the ones we actually used. Calling all marketers in Staffordshire could be another one, etc., etc., etc. So you can just keep pumping those in. Next is your website URL. So you want to grab that from Typeform. If you see right here, when you hit share on Typeform, and I'm going to run you through the Typeform setup, you can copy the link and then you can just throw that link straight into your website URL. So I've copied that into here. And now we should actually get some ad previews if it wants to play nice. Getting some Spanish warnings, which is great. We don't want to have anything selected on browser add-ons. And this is what our ad will actually look like. So a little mock-up for you. And you do want to pay attention to this, guys. You do want to kind of look at how does it look for the end user and just make sure there's no mistakes. See how it feels and what the response might be if you were the person receiving this advert. Website events, make sure your tracking and your pixels are on. If you need a video on pixels, let me know in the comments. Happy to run you through how to create that and link it up with conversion APIs, etc., etc. And right here, we're done. So you can go ahead and hit publish. We've done the budgeting, we've done the targeting, and we haven't selected any interest, guys, because we want to keep it as wide open as possible. Give you more insight on that in a second. Then we've inserted at the ad level our Canva designs. We'd publish that ad, it would go into review. Then I want to run you guys through the final stage or 2 stages of this, which is your Typeform, so where you're sending people. Here you can see just a preview of all the questions we ask, and I'll run you through those now. And then after they hit submit on the Typeform, we want to email confirmation to go out either through our CRM or Zapier, letting them know what the next steps are in the process for them in their application journey, and just giving them some confirmation that you've received their details. So if I head over to Typeform and we go over to the form setup, We're a social media agency, so this is just making sure they understand what we do. Making them give us an insight into what job it is they're applying for is super important as well. What are their marketing experiences? One good option here is you've got a lot of different kind of options for how you want that question to be answered. Make sure you explore those. These are multiple choice. These are long answers. We've got short answers as well. Drop down menu. What's your marketing specific experience? How could you help us with our campaigns? Do you have a portfolio? Are there examples of any campaigns or profiles you've worked on? Now, CV is an interesting one, and you do want to get a CV if they have it, but a lot of people won't have that on their mobile device. My interest is in the answers they give to these, and my team's interest when they're sieving through who would be a good fit is in the answers they give to these questions. It's less about a pre-built CV, which is going out to however many people. And then look, contact details, full name, contact, email, and then their personal or a business Instagram if that's what they're working on. Important that I just note that you should leave the contact details to the end, because if they have gone through and answered these questions first, they're very likely to give you their contact details because they're showing you they're interested. And at the end, you just want to add a thank you button and a submit button to confirm the application is complete. Like I said, guys, after that, you want to make sure your email confirmation is set up. Not going to run you through that. It's a bit more technical when it comes to Zapier and connecting CRMs to Typeforms. Very simple, but it's going to elongate this video. And then the final few notes: leave your ads on the front end wide, cast a wide net. Don't get too specific. Specify roles on the creative itself and the Typeform option. So as you guys saw, we had the multiple choice on the Typeform for them to select what role it is they're interested in. Automations and confirmation is important. Don't just leave them hanging after they've submitted their details. They should get some notification on what happens next. You've got their contact details. It might not be a digital confirmation. You might want to have one of your team phone them up straight away. And then the main thing, guys, is have a good interview process. So as much as it's about finding the best talent for your business, it's a first impression. So when they receive that confirmation, that's a first impression of your business and brand. When they first see the advert, it's a first impression of your business and brand. If you're serving that advert from a profile that has no track record, zero posts, no engagement or content being uploaded, people are naturally going to judge your business based on that. And of course, you want to make sure that you're qualifying with the Typeform questions, because casting a wide net, these questions are trying to eliminate anybody who's not relevant for the roles that we're pumping out on ad campaigns. Hope this helps. Let me know any questions you have on setting this campaign up. More than happy to help with my team. And if you need any other further insights when it comes to your recruitment ad campaigns, feel free to drop me a message and we'll get back to you on how you can solve them. See you on the next one.